I'm Mike Spider Slayer. I'm doing a Spider-Man contest. Why my name is Mike Spider Slayer? Why do I love Spider-Man so much? We'll find out, guys.
Spider-Man and his amazing
contest. Hey Frontline fans, welcome to Comic Frontline. And fans, you're back with me, Mike Spider Slayer, getting ready to bring ya my reasoning why my name is Mike Spider Slayer, why I like the Amazing Spider-Man so much, and why I picked these particular books to be entered in the giveaway, okay? So, first things first, guys, why is my name Mike Spider Slayer when I like the Amazing Spider-Man so much? Well, the only reason why my name is Mike Spider Slayer is because it was my gamer tag when I played a lot of video games, and I thought the name was cool, and also one of my favorite villains of Spider-Man was the Spider Slayer, and I felt it would be very fitting if I was doing YouTube videos and comic book reviews, especially Spider-Man reviews, that I would get very angry at these Spider-Man books and possibly slay them, right? It's originally why the name really got started, or I would, destroy the issue, or I would just, ram it into the ground or whatnot. But as I've become much more of a collector, I don't like to do that, and I love my Amazing Spider-Man books, okay? But I tend to point out whenever there's a Spider Slayer on the cover of a comic book, all right? So that's the reason why my name is Mike Spider Slayer on YouTube. The next thing is why do I enjoy Spider-Man so much? When I was a kid, some of the first issues I ever owned that was given to me by my uncle, who actually managed a comic book shop when he was much younger, was some Amazing Spider-Man books. I had a small stack of comics like this, and I kept them forever, and I never read them. But as I got older, I read a few of them, and it had to do with the Hobgoblin in the actual series, okay? And then it wasn't until I was about 15 or 16 years old, maybe a little younger, give or take, I went to a baseball card shop that also sold a spinner rack of comics, and I saw Todd McFarlane's artwork on Amazing Spider-Man issue 313. And when I saw that cover, I was like, I must buy Spider-Man from this point going forward. And it wasn't right there and then that I bought every issue. I think I started a little bit later, but I started buying it. And it ran into Eric Larson's artwork. And that's why I'm such a huge fan of Eric Larson and Todd McFarlane, because what they did to the Spider-Man character in art form was absolutely gorgeous. And we all know that it sold books. And a lot of you Spidey fans out there, that's why you read Spider-Man 2, is for that artwork and something that was totally outside the box at the time of comic books. So ever since that point, I really started reading Amazing Spider-Man. When I bought it bi-weekly was, I think, issue 333, which was the return of the Sinister Six, and Eric Larson was the one that actually drew that series. And so I kept on going from there, and I have not stopped Amazing Spider-Man or Spider-Man books for that part. I think Peter Parker is obviously that very relatable character. It's just, you can relate to him. That's basically what I can say in a nutshell, okay? So now going to the contest. The books that I selected for this contest, okay? Why did I pick them? Why did I want to give away this many of my cherished books, okay? Well, first of all, if you're a Spidey fan, you might, or a fan in general of comics, you might have a chance to have access to these books and own them yourself. So I felt that there were some key issues and fun books here to give away in this contest, okay? First one was Amazing Spider-Man issue 600. This is a milestone issue, okay? This book right here has to do with Aunt May and J. Jonah Sr. actually getting married. This is a thick book. At the time it was $5, okay? Again, a key book, milestone book. This is one of those ones that maybe you would want in your collection, okay? If you don't have it yet or never had the access to actually getting it in at that point in time. All right, and then the next one was issue 797. I think this is the most recent key story in the Amazing Spider-Man Volume 1, okay, after they did the legacy numbering. We get to see the first appearance of the Red Goblin. It's a Norman Osborn story, one of Spider-Man's greatest foes, and probably Dan Slott in his entire run is probably one of the best stories that he has written besides the Spider Island book, okay? So we had 797, this was the first part of that story. And then we have 798 with the covers being done by Alex Ross. It's absolutely gorgeous. Again, it continues that story in the build-up to the Red Goblin. And then we have issue 799, where obviously the Red Goblin makes his appearance in this book, full appearance. And then we get the outcome of what happens to Flash Thompson in this book as well. And so there's a lot of stuff that goes on in this book. And then we have the finale here, issue 800. There was an 801, but it was just a standalone book, you know. But this is really the last main story for the official first volume of Amazing Spider-Man when they brought back the renumbering here. So this is a really great book. It's a $10 value. Awesome, awesome stuff. I feel that everyone should read this last main story arc from Dan Slott to close out the first volume officially for The Amazing Spider-Man. All right, so then what's next on the list? Well, I thought it would be fun, as I said earlier, that I love to point out every Spider-Man book that has a Spider Slayer on it. Because that's me, right? And so what I did for issue 292, the book has no value whatsoever, but it has a Spider Slayer on there, and it says, hiding in Pittsburgh won't save you from All-Star Smite's Spider Slayer. So, and then I officially signed it, you know, Mike Spider Slayer, just to recognize that, hey, my favorite C-lister villain is on the cover there, and I signed it just for fun. So I thought it'd be a cool issue just for you guys to read, obviously Spidey doing battle against the Spider Slayer. All right. So next we wound up having Amazing Spider-Man issue 251. This book is a key book. It obviously has the death of the Hobgoblin in this particular issue. This is another one of those keys. I would say that this book is probably in a fine condition. If this was minted, it would probably be around at $16. So I wanted you guys to read a really cool series here, and I wanted to just, you know, again, Hobgoblin is a major character in Spider-Man's enemies, and it was one of the first books that I read as a fan of Spider-Man, and if whoever actually wins this contest, maybe this might be your first read as well, or maybe your first older read of the character. So that would be kind of cool. So that was 251. And then in this particular issue, in issue 275, we get the return of the Hobgoblin. So who is the Hobgoblin now that the original one is dead? And you also get a retelling of the origin story of Spider-Man here. Not that we don't already know it, but again, at this point in time in the 80s, this book was actually, this story was key, and this was made, I think, in 1985. And yeah, it's a cool book. And again, in mint condition, this book is around $26. And this, I would say, is probably in fine or very fine shape. So really cool book to have in your collection. So that's awesome there. And then in this one, I thought we would represent the Web of Spider-Man series, since we got plenty of Amazing Spider-Man books. And we have Web of Spider-Man. This is issue 100. We have the debut of the Spider Armor, okay? And being that we've had Edge of Spider-Verse and all these different versions of Spider-Man as of recently, I think this would be a cool book to have in your collection. Not that it's really worth anything, but it also has some 90s goodness in there with that green foil cover, and I thought it was really cool for a giveaway here, and a nice book to add to your Spider-Man collection. And then last but not least, when it comes to the books, we have probably an important key issue here. This is Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man. This is issue 90. This is one of 3 books that share a cameo appearance of the first time that the black symbiote suit is represented in a book. So this is a very important issue to have. Again, in mint condition, this book is around $30. I would say that this one is in really good shape, and so this is the key issue to have in this contest. This is why you would want to win this book or win this contest, to own this actual book. This is a great one to have in your collection. And then last but not least, I decided to throw this in there for the contest, and this was Venomized Iron Man. I thought this was cool because obviously one of the most popular villains out there is Venom, right? And how cool is it that Venom takes over the Iron Man armor? And how cool would it be to see Spider-Man do battle against a venomized Iron Man? That would be cool because Peter and Tony are really good friends, and so could Peter Parker actually do the job and save Tony from this venomized Iron Man suit. That would be a pretty cool comic book, wouldn't it? So this is in this contest as well, and that's why I picked this one up. And I thought, hey, why not throw it in there? So hopefully, guys, I want to wish you good luck in this contest. Enjoy it. And congratulate to the winner in advance who does win it. I can't wait to find out who wins. And again, for all of you, I really appreciate you guys watching Comic Frontline. It means the world to me and the rest of the crew, and taking your time and watching our live show each and every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So guys, until that next comic book review, this is Mike Spider Slayer signing off, and I'll see you guys real soon. Take care, everyone. Bye.